Oh, this is a review video of my KTM 350. It's the EXC 2016. Just gonna do a little walk around first, and then we can get into actually riding it. Done a few things motor wise. I added the exhaust wrap. At first I actually had it from the back of the tail section, the tailpipe, all the way up around to the front, but after a while, either from the roost, from the front wheel, or maybe boot rub or something, I don't know, but it started to fray a lot in this section here, so it started to rip apart and break. So at one point I just cut it all off and then moved it back here. This is actually a new header pipe with new wrap, so I had to redo it again, but yeah, it works the best here, and it basically just keeps this frame rail right here and back here in this corner from getting too hot, because the bike's street legal. So sometimes I just go take it for a cruise if I'm going to work, and you touch this with the inside of your leg on, you know, without your boots on, and it will burn you because it gets that hot with the pipe going through there. And with this exhaust wrap on there, and when the bike's running, I'm going down the road, I can just grab my Kickstarter and be no problem. It won't even be hot anymore. It's super low temperature, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I have that in there. I have you probably can't see it, but the fuel rail is different. I changed it from the stock one to the KTM and Husky fuel rail for this bike. I think they go from like 12 to 16 KTM EXC or XCW. That right there, along with the KTM and Husky end cap, helped tremendous amounts. I put that, the hub, the end cap, and also the TPS tuner all at the same time, and man, the bike, it really just woke the bike up. When you get the bike stock, it's pretty low geared. It doesn't rev very fast. It feels pretty sluggish, and for a 350 it really shouldn't be very sluggish, especially since it has the same motor and chassis as the race bikes. So just with the fuel rail, the end cap, and the TPS tuner, it really woke this bike up, and the thing's it's a monster now. To me it feels pretty close to like an XCW. Still doesn't rev as fast as the race models, but the one thing I like the most about this bike is you keep your fuel economy still with a badass bike. So I can do a 6-hour long enduro, 60-70 miles. I mean, usually you're at idle because you're in a single track, but 60-70 miles in one day, and I'll come back with half a tank. You know, you can't beat those numbers there. All my buddies all filling up, and I'm still there perfectly fine, ready to go, and this thing can, you know, hang with 450s perfectly fine. But yeah, I got guess I can go over some of the mods that are on it. Just most of it, those only power mods I had was the KTM Husky parts. Other than that, the bike's totally stock. All the protective mods I have is the pulley sport swing arm guards, the what was this, Tusk Racing rear disc guard, Mojo Motorsport foot pegs, awesome company, lifetime warranty, Hammerhead Designs brake pedal and shifter, pulley sport engine covers on both sides. You got the clutch, water pump, and the ignition cover on that side. Tusk temperature gauge, which actually worked for about 2 years. Right now it's broken. You look up reviews, some people will say it is true that after a while the bike vibrating, or if you crash, I guess, I don't know, it'll just stop, and it basically just spins around in circles when the bike's on. It doesn't really do anything anymore, but it's 20 bucks. I'll replace it soon. Of course, KTM power parts, grab handle, it works. I wish I had the overseat one, but it does work. It does help in some situations. It's pretty nice. I got the Baja Designs rear tail light. There's actually a guy that's on eBay that late in the summer, I'm pretty sure, he usually has them up for sale on eBay, and they're a lot cheaper than what Baja Design sells, and they're just as good as quality. But you have to wait until he has them in stock, because I think he does it by himself at his house, so there's not always online on eBay. Comes stock with a fan, I got the Baja Designs Squadron Sport headlight. Yeah, Sport. It's the lowest one. Still super bright. I can see like it's daytime at night. If I still have any footage of that, maybe I'll try to throw it in the video if I can find it. I got Unibiker radiator guards. They're a pretty small company. Took a while to find them, but they were orange, so that was my main thing going. It's full cage type guard. Everything has braces in the front, braces in the back. There's actually supposed to be a brace that goes between this radiator and the other one, but it didn't fit. So I never put that extra brace in there. They've been fine without it. Cyker handguards. Little Serbies folding mirror. This thing's great. I just have it zip tied down just to keep the bike legal. Guy has something. Random whatever Chinese clutch lever here just because the stock one broke off. Super Sprox rear sprocket. DID chain. Oh yeah, Flatland Racing skid plate too. It's that thing is held up to a lot a lot of abuse, smashing on rocks and stuff. Definitely go for a metal skid plate if you're going to be hitting rocks. It's just keep it safe in your mind that you're not going to crack it. And front disc cover, mainly just cosmetic stuff, protection stuff, because I rode in a lot of rocks. Nothing too special. As for tires, I'm running the Golden Tire GT 216 AA front, not the fatty, just the regular one. It's not totally shot right now, but it's getting there. Probably should replace it, but I'm selling the bike soon, so it's totally rideable. It's perfectly fine, but like if you're gonna go enter in a race, try to ride hard in some trails or anything like that, you might feel it slipping around a little bit. Same with the rear. It's mainly the road that does all this for these tires. This is the IRC M5B Evo, and this tire I love. This tire does really, really well. I'm mostly riding in pretty loamy soil here. It's usually soil like this or sand. Not a lot of rocks out here in the Pine Barrens, but this tire hooks up great. I take up to North Jersey every once in a while. North Jersey's got hard dirt with rocks. Handles great up there too. You just got to air it down, that's all. No tubeless or anything. I always just run heavy duty tubes. Never had an issue. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing else really to it. Badass machine. I absolutely love this bike. And the reason why I'm selling it, in case anybody's wondering, is because I'm switching over to more hard enduro style riding. So I'm going to pick up a 300 two-stroke. This bike's a little heavy, just a little heavy to be thrown around in rocks and stuff like that. At least for me, I'm a small guy. I only weigh like 130, so it's a little much for me to every time I'm falling and whatnot to keep picking it up. But yeah, stop rambling. Give you guys some trail rides. So one thing I'll definitely say about this bike is don't ever let anybody tell you it's too slow. Doesn't handle like the other bikes. This bike handles fine. The only thing I'd say that a really experienced rider might not like about this machine is just the suspension, and that's it. And it's great suspension for enduro riding, slow, tight enduro riding. Super soft, feels great, but when the speed picks up, that's when it starts to get pretty sketchy, because you'll be bottoming out and whoops and stuff. And this suspension will take it all. I rarely blow my fork seals, knock on wood, but yeah, the suspension takes it. You know, if you just learn how to you know, change your body positioning to allow for that soft suspension, then it rides fine. I never have any issues with it. But yeah, let's get underway, do some ripping. slouch. Definitely not. Spend a few dollars, get those, get that fuel rail, get an exhaust pipe or an end cap, whatever company, probably doesn't really matter. You just want to open up that exhaust pipe. Once you open up the exhaust pipe, adjust your TPS sensor, give it a tune. This thing freaking rips. I've never had any problem racing. Never thought I was at a disadvantage at all, other than the suspension. And you know what? You know, as you can tell, I'm handling it all right. Once you get used to how it hits, you don't usually have any problems dealing with big bumps and whatnot. It's actually kind of fun. It's a little bouncy when you're going through trails, wheeling through whoops and stuff. You can kind of like hop and skip around, and it's very light, really easy on your arms. I never get arm pump on this bike ever. My guess is because how smooth the power comes on. When you have an EXC, the mapping that comes stock from the factory is mapped obviously for a bike to be on the street, and to be, you know, dual sported and whatnot. So it doesn't have as much of a hit as a regular race bike would, which is actually really nice, because when you're going through the trails and you get on the gas, it doesn't jerk your arms at all. If you want it to go fast, you twist the throttle, it goes fast. It wakes up really, really fast, but there's no initial hard hit. It just moves. It just has power, very gradual from the bottom all the way up to the top. That's one of the main things I love about this bike. It's so comfortable to ride. Just how easy the power comes on. It's very manageable, very predictable. That's a big thing, very predictable. It won't ever scare you unless you whiskey throttle, you know, out of control. It'll never take off take off on you out of nowhere. This thing's a bad machine. Guess we can go up the hill climb, go up that one, we'll head out in some single track.